nhắn với bố đi phá ta một tiền
Sir, we can't hear you, sir.
Money points.
Can you see the screen? Can you see the screen? Can you
Yes,
see the
we can.
screen?
Yes, we can, sir.
Okay, you can see the screen, but you can't hear me.
Now we can hear you. Now me, I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, fine.
Yes, sir.
All right. Let's move on. So what I'm going to do, since you can hear me now, I'm coming. I'm trying to see where is my? Okay, so let me quickly just recall what I've said. When I started with the introduction to the theory of production. I believe you can hear me.
Yes, sir.
You can hear me, right? Okay,
Yes,
and
sir.
I said production refers to the process of transforming input into output. And when you talk about input refers to land, labor, capital, and entrepreneur, while the output refers to the finished goods, the goods and services, okay? And I said for mass communication students, production concepts are important in media industries like television, radio, newspaper, film production, advertising, and digital media. Now, I went into the basic production concept. I said production is the creation of utility. Production another concept of production has to do with inputs, which are the factors of production, which we call land, labor, capital. Then output, which are finished goods. Then another concept is efficiency. That means how you can maximize your output with minimum cost. Then technology, how you can improve productivity. Now, we also went to production function, and I said production function is an equation that shows the relationship between input and output. It explains the maximum quantity of output obtainable from different combinations of input. So if you look at this slide now that I'm looking at, you have what we call the Q is a function of K and L. Look at where I'm pointing at. A function of K and L. You can see me, I'm highlighting it and putting it in red. It's a function of K and L. So where Q is output, L is labor, and K is capital. So if you look at this, this is a production function. And the meaning of this is that the Q, that's the output produced, is depending on the amount of labor and capital used in production. Labor is the human effort put into production. Capital is the machines used in production. So the combination of the human effort and machine hours used in production will determine the output. So the output is a dependent variable. Labor and capital are independent variables. So this is a linear, let me write it in front of it. So this is a linear production function. This is a linear production function. So let's move on. Now, what other things we need to know? We need to know that there are some inputs that are fixed and some inputs that are variable. Now, when you say fixed input that do not change in the short run. Example, factory building, broadcasting studio. All these ones are fixed inputs. It's like land is fixed. But variable inputs are the input that changes with production level. Example is labor, electricity, raw materials, and so on. Now, there is also another concept that we call the short run and the long run period. Let me put period there. Short run, which we call production period, and then long run production period. So at the short run production period, at least one factor is fixed. Then firms can only adjust variable inputs. Now, at the long run production period, all factors of production are variable, and firms can expand or reduce production capacity. So what we are saying is the short run period, therefore, is the period that a business just started, and then the long run period is the period at which a business has expanded and it has been in productivity for a long time. Okay? Now, we also can talk about production concept in terms of what we call how output changes when input varies. And we have three major types of that production concept. We have what we call the total products, average products, and marginal products. Total products, take note of it. Let me highlight it. Total products, average product, and marginal product. Now, I wish I can just, okay, let me just write a few things because I wanted this to be explained. Total product is the total volume of goods and services produced, within a period of time, produced within a period of time, within a production period, okay, production period. Now, average product is the total products divided by total product divided by outputs produced. The marginal product is the additional products produced as a result of additional inputs added to production, and it is calculated as change in CP divided by change in outputs. So this one is normal. Okay, so these are just a few explanations I can give. When you say total product, you say is the total volume of goods and services produced within a production process. It is calculated as average product times output produced. So you can say it is calculated. While average product is total product divided by output produced. That is, i.e., TP divided by Q. That is your AP, average product. While this one is AP divided by times output, okay? Now let's look at this. It says, the next slide, total product refers to the total quantity of output produced by all the units of a variable factor. Example now, if 5 workers produce 100 magazines, what is the total product? So let me ask you now, I want somebody to unmute among the participants. Let me call Richie. Richie, can you unmute yourself? So you're unmuted already. So Richie, yeah. So if 5 workers produce 100 magazines, the total product of those workers is 100 magazines. Do you agree? Hello, Richie, can you unmute yourself? Do you agree? Joanna, Kelechi, can you unmute yourself and speak? Yes? Kelechi?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, go on. What is yes, sir? Express yourself. I said, what's yes, sir? I said, if 5 workers produce 100 magazine, the total product is 100 magazine. Is it correct?
Correct,
If
sir.
you say why, it's not just yes that I need. Why? Why did you say it's correct?
Because as you said, the total product refers to the total quantity of the output. So the total quantity of the output by the 5 workers is the 100 magazines. Therefore, the
Okay,
total product is.
let me now give you a question. So, if based on this question now, so what is the average product from the formula I gave you earlier? Then, what is the average product of a worker? Yes, what will be the average product? Just a simple answer. Yes?
So the average product of a worker will be 15 magazines.
15.
Yes.
How did you get 15?
As you said the total product is divided by the change of output. So, and there are 5 workers and they produce 100 magazines. So if we divide each, and if each worker was to produce 15, so 15 times 5.
Where are you saying 15? I said 100. Total product is
100.
100. And the 5
Yes,
workers, you have 5 workers. So
yes,
how
sir.
many would be the average product? Is it not 100
Okay,
divided by 5?
yes, 100 divided by 5. Sorry, sir.
Where are
So
you
it will be
getting
100.
15?
Oh, sorry, sir. It was a mistake, sir.
What is
So
the
the
answer?
so the so it will be total product divided by change in output.
100 divided by 5. What is the answer?
That would be 20, sir.
So not 15. Thank you very much. So let's move on. Because we are using trial version, it's giving me sign that we have just 5 minutes left. So average product measures output per unit of input, and the formula is, you can see the formula here again, AP is equal to TP divided by unit of labor. So you have an example there. It says that if 100 magazines, that's just what I've just given my guy to do, and he got it. So if 100 magazines are produced by 5 workers, Average product will be 100 divided by 5. Okay, so let's move on quickly. Marginal product is the additional output resulting from employing one extra input, and the formula is NP is equal to change in TP divided by change in labor or change in capital. This can be change in labor or change in capital. So if it is as a result of change in labor, you call that one marginal product of capital. If it is as a result of change in labor, sorry, in capital rather, in capital. But if it is as a if it is as a result of change in labor, you call it MPK. So you call it is called MPL, marginal product of labor. So that means that we have two types of marginal product. We have marginal product of capital when it is as a result of change in capital. Then when it is as a result of change in labor, you call it MPL. Okay, so we're going to continue. So the way it is now, we have, I don't know, my system is showing me 6 minutes, but there's a signal of less than 5 minutes earlier. So the way we will do it is that we will log in back into that same link. Immediately it shuts us out. Is that clear? So that we can take the next 30 minutes thereabout, 40 minutes thereabout to round up. Did you get what I said? So that, because we are using trial version, so we will now log back again with that same link. I think it will work. Oh, okay. I think I'm told that we have to create a new link. So immediately it logs us out. A new link will be created. You just join the new link so that we can finish up this theory of production. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Okay. So let me continue for now, pending when that will happen. So the next slide is talking about law of diminishing returns. Law of diminishing returns. Now, this law states that as more units of a variable input are added to fixed input, output will eventually increase at a decreasing rate. I repeat, as more units of a variable factor, that means as you add more labor to a piece of land, which is a fixed factor, land is fixed, labor is variable. The output that you will get, that means the total output will increase, but it will now start diminishing gradually. You know, it's just natural. If you are eating now, you are hungry, or you say, I'm very hungry, give me my food. Bam, 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 you start eating. At a point, you will now start getting relaxed. The speed at which you were eating before will suddenly stop or reduce, because why? The law of diminishing return are setting. Maybe you are the type that, okay, you like drinking water, you are very tasty, you take the water with a rush. At a point, once you get to a level of satisfaction, the law of diminishing return will set in, and then you now see that you are no more rushing the water anymore. So the law of diminishing return is applicable to every aspect of human life. Now we have three stages. We have increasing returns, diminishing returns, and negative returns. Well, in some textbook, you call it increasing returns, decreasing returns, and constant return to scale. So let's now look at production possibility frontier. How I wish I can create a table for you, but is in the textbook, which I have told you to make yourself an advantage of. So if you want to have the textbook, the hard copy is available, the soft copy is available. So it's your choice. But in the textbook, we have lots of examples that you could work on as exercises. For instance, this diminishing return now, we can just create a table for total output, average output, and marginal product. You can call it output as well. So you now create a table, then you can remove some figures and you are asked to calculate the missing figures. You can equally look at that table and then establish the point of diminishing return, the point at which diminishing return as certain. Now let's move on to production possibility curve. Now when we talk about production possibility curve or frontier, it shows the different combinations of two goods that can be produced using available resources efficiently. Different combination of two goods that can be produced using available resources efficiently. So what are the key features? It is downward sloping. It shows the concept of scarcity, and it also indicates opportunity cost. And then let's go on to production analysis. Now, production analysis studies the relationship between input and output, just like we said earlier, production function. And the objective is to always achieve efficient resource allocation, cost minimization, and profit maximization. Now, production analysis in the long run. In the long run, all factors of production are variable. You must take note of that. And that is because of the law of diminishing returns. Firms can increase their plant size. They can adopt new technology, and they can change production scale. All right. Now, let's move on to assumptions of long run production process. Now, one of the assumptions is that technology remains constant. Number two, firms aims at profit maximization. Number three, inputs are divisible. Number four, inputs can be substituted for one another. And number five, production operates efficiently. What does this mean? We are saying that for you to